CEREBRUM Private Limited is a team of academicians and experts who are into education field since decades. We are proud to be associated with more than 1,500 institutions across the country. We are into academic consultation, teacher training, student training, communicative English, Vedic mathematics, subject-specific training, content development, and many more. Smart Learning is a service-oriented social initiative from Smart CEREBRUM Private Limited, wherein subject-specific experts will be conducting online sessions for the student community at large. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel for constant updates about upcoming sessions and topics. All the sessions will be related to the syllabus and curriculum.
We welcome Avanthi ma'am and all our viewers for today's session. As this session is for grade 10 English grammar determiners. A very warm welcome to you ma'am.
Thank you, Navya.
Over to you ma'am.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I hope you're all doing good. Welcome to another session of English grammar classes through Smart CEREBRUM. Today, I have lined up for you all determiners. So we will be discussing what are determiners, which are the different types of determiners. And of course, there will be plenty of examples because that is the best way to learn grammar through lots of examples. So we will go through a lot of examples. We will also be solving few exercises as and when we learn a concept. So I'm hoping that you will master determiners by the end of this session. So let me share the presentation before I start the class. A word of appreciation to Smart CEREBRUM for this wonderful initiative. And if you are new to this channel, then kindly subscribe and share the videos. Hit the like button. If you like the video, click on the bell icon for notifications. Determiners. That is what we will be discussing today. And my objective for this session is to enable you to classify or quantify a noun with the usage of correct determiners. And as always, we will have few milestones to meet in order to achieve this objective. So our milestones for the day are, we will first discuss what are determiners. Then we will look into the types of determiners. And finally, we will see the usage of some of the multiple determiners. So this is what I have lined up for you all today. One fine day, Suhas and Subhash decided to study together. As they were about to begin, Subhash asked Suhas, "Please hand me book." Suhas is confused as to which book he is talking about. There are so many books here. So he asks Subhash, "Which book?" Then Subhash specifies, "Please hand me that book." So it is much clearer now to Suhas. So he says, "Oh, you want this red book?" Let us look at the sentence. Please hand me that book. When Subhash says, "Please hand me that book," he specifies which book by pointing at it. We have learned that that is a demonstrative adjective. It is pointing at a particular book. So this demonstrative adjective, which that determines which particular book. When he says that book, he is pointing out specifically to a particular book. Hence, this demonstrative adjective is a determiner. So you will notice that the determiner that restricts the noun. What does it mean? It means among all the books, that is restricting which book he is talking about. So that is a determiner. You also notice that is placed just before the noun. Now, just for convenience sake and to help you to understand, I have color coded the nouns in blue color, and all the determiners which I'll be discussing will be of the color red. And in a couple of places we also have adjectives, so which I would have used the shade of green. Okay, so this is a color code which I've used. So now in this example, we just understood that the word that, okay, is pointing to the noun. Okay, specifically it is telling which particular book, and it is a demonstrative adjective. So that is a determiner. Now, before I go into introducing you to the formal definition of a determiner, let me just brush up your previous knowledge of adjectives. Now, what is an adjective? An adjective is one of the parts of speech, is it not? It describes a noun or it qualifies a noun. Now, for those who have already forgotten what is the meaning of describing a noun or qualifying a noun, let us just learn it with an example. Now, here is a picture of a chair. Now, if I ask you to go on describing the chair, what are some of the words which you will use for describing this chair? So, you may say a large chair, high-backed chair, comfortable chair, single chair, armed chair, cushioned chair, expensive chair, royal chair. Now, this list can go on and on and on and on and on. Now, chair is the noun. We saw everywhere chair, chair, chair. That was the noun. Now, all the words which were used to describe the chair, which were they? Large, high back, comfortable, single, armed, cushion, expensive, royal. These words are the adjectives. These were the words which were used to describe chair. So that is an adjective. So basically, what is an adjective? It is a word which describes or qualifies a noun. Okay, I'm sure you already have this knowledge. Now, let us understand a little more about adjectives. Adjectives are basically divided into two categories. And one category is called adjective itself, and it is the other category which is called as a determiner. So determiner is nothing but a kind of adjective. But what is the difference? We will see what is the difference. And under adjectives, you must have already studied that we have about 6 different types of adjectives. We have descriptive adjectives, we have quantitative adjectives, possessive adjectives, demonstrative adjectives, distributive adjectives, interrogative adjectives. In case you have forgotten, this slide will help you to understand that. Now, what are some of the descriptive adjectives? Words like good, little, big, new, old, short, fast, slow, large, great, small. Basically, the words which are used to describe color, touch, smell, size, shape, taste. Okay, these are called as descriptive adjectives. Now, what are quantitatives? Basically, quantitative means either they are cardinal numbers or they are ordinal numbers. Plus, you also have few, whole, all, many, numerous. These are all quantitative adjectives. Now, what are demonstratives? The words like this, that, these, those, they are all demonstrative adjectives. Then what are possessive adjectives? Mine, his, our, your, their, her, its, mine, his, hers, theirs, ours. These are all possessive adjectives. Interrogative, which, what, and whose. And which are some of the distributive adjectives? Words like each, every, neither, either, any. These are all distributive adjectives. Now, I hope you have brushed up your memory with what are adjectives and which are the different types of adjectives. Now, let us understand what is the difference between an adjective and a determiner. We will understand it with the help of this example. He is a good man. Now, which is the noun in this sentence? Man is the noun. How has he been described? What is the word that has been used to describe man? Good. So, good is the adjective. Supposing I write this sentence as the man is good. Now, here also, friends, even now, good is the adjective and man is the noun. The only difference is in the first sentence, the adjective came before the noun, but in the second sentence, The adjective has come after the noun. But let us take the example of this sentence. This book is mine. Book is the noun. And what about this? We have always seen that the word which comes before the noun is usually describing the noun, and that is an adjective. Yes, here also, although it is not qualifying, but it is also a type of adjective, and we have seen that it is a demonstrative adjective. Now, if I try to rearrange the sentence, like in the previous example I did, no? He is a good man, the man is good. Now, let me try to rearrange this sentence. Can I write the sentence as, book is mine this? No. Such adjectives which can only be written before a noun and not after it have been named as determiners. Now you got the difference between an adjective and a determiner. Determiner is also a kind of adjective, but there is a restriction over here. What is that restriction? That those adjectives, okay, which cannot be written after a noun, okay, those adjectives which has to be only written before a noun, they are called as determiners. Okay. Okay, let us now proceed. Now I hope you have got the idea of what is an adjective and what is the difference between an adjective and a determiner. Now we will go into the depths of determiners. We will understand its formal definition. One part you already got. What are determiners? Determiners are words which are placed right before a noun and help to identify or specify the noun in some way. Why are they called so? Why are they called determiners? They are called so because they determine or they restrict the noun. So they are called as determiners. Let us look at a few more examples and we can understand it better. Their house is at the corner of the street. Now in this sentence, there determines whose house we are talking about, a particular house. Which particular house? Their house. So there here is determining which house by showing possession. So there is a determiner. So it is showing which house, by how it is showing, in what way it is specifying. It is specifying by showing its possession, showing the possession. Whose house? Their house. So this there becomes a determiner and it is placed just before the noun. Now let us look at this example here. Every girl in the class has scored good marks. Now in this sentence, the word every determines which girl in a group by referring to them one by one. So in a class, we are referring to each girl one by one. Hence, in this sentence, every is a determiner because it is determining which girl in a group by referring to them one by one. So we can say that every is a determiner and it has been placed just before a noun. One more example to understand determiners better. A bird is singing outside my window. A is referring to a singular bird and that bird is it is making a very general reference. We are saying a bird. It is determining which bird by making a very general reference. So it is a determiner. It is determining the noun bird. In the same sentence, when I say my window, my is referring to a particular noun window and it is referring it by showing possession. Is it not? It is saying my window. Hence, my is also a determiner. So in that sentence, we are having two determiners. We are having a, which is making a general reference, and we are having my, which is showing possession. So in the previous, okay, both these are determiners. Now supposing the sentence is, the bird singing outside my window is tiny. Here what has happened? In this sentence, the is determining to a particular bird or to a particular noun. So here it is very specific. Is it not? When I'm saying the bird, but in the previous example, when I said a bird, it is making a general reference, some bird. But here I'm very specific. I'm saying the bird singing outside, a bird singing outside my window is tiny. So hence the is making a specific reference and is also a determiner. The is also a determiner here. And just like the previous example, my determines which window by showing possession. So my is also a determiner. So in the previous example, we had a and my, and in this example, we have the and my, and they are all determiners. Okay, let us see this example now. Few men follow the rules prescribed. Now in this sentence, few determines the number of people. We do not know the exact number of people. It is giving us an idea of indefinite number of people. Few here is acting as a determiner because it is determining the number of people. And a determiner by specifying, and what is it specifying? It is specifying the noun men. So few is also a determiner over here. Let us see one more last example. Let us see one last example here. Which book are you reading? In this sentence, which determines the book by asking a question about it. Hence, which is also a determiner. What is it pointing out at? What is it restricting the noun? It is restricting the noun by asking it a question. So, which is a determiner. So now you have just seen how to identify a determiner. It is placed just before a noun, okay? And we see that it is doing something in general, or either it is doing something in specific, or it is asking a question, or it is showing an amount, like when we saw few men, okay? So now that we know what are determiners, let us identify the determiners in few sentences, okay? So here is a small exercise for you. I am Suhas. That boy is my friend, Kirtan. He is the captain of our basketball team. I am Suhas. Now, in this sentence, is there any determiner in this sentence? No. That boy is my friend, Kirtan. So here, now in this sentence, that is referring to a particular boy. Hence, that is a determiner. So we got a determiner here. When I say my friend, Kirtan, my is showing a particular friend. It is showing possession there. So my is another determiner here. He is the captain of our basketball team. Now in this sentence, the is making a specific reference to the noun captain. He is the captain of our basketball team. Again, what is our doing? It is showing possessive. It is showing it is a possessive adjective. So the is the determiner and our is showing possession, and it is our is referring to a particular basketball team. Hence the and our are the determiners in the third sentence. Now let us look at this example. Oh, he wants red book. Now do you think red is a determiner in this sentence? Is it determining a particular book? No. We can refer to any red book. Hence, red is not a determiner here in this sentence. If I say, oh, he wants this book, then do you think this is a determiner? Let us see. When I say he wants this book, then I am referring to a particular book by pointing at it. So, this is a determiner. But if I say, oh, he wants this red book, then what do you think is the determiner here? Are both this and red determiners? Let us see. This specifies which red book. We already know that it is a demonstrative adjective and it is pointing to a particular red book. Hence, this is definitely a determiner. Now, what about red book? Now, red is just describing a book. It is an adjective of quality. Is it referring to any particular book? No. Red book does not determine which book. So red is not a determiner. Red is not a determiner. It is just qualifying that book as red. Now you will notice that we have placed the determiner this before the adjective red. So what do we learn? We learn that determiners are placed before the adjective, if any. In case there is no adjective in a sentence, then determiners are placed immediately before the noun. Okay, this is what we just now saw. So now let us do this exercise. Rewrite the sentence by placing the appropriate determiner in the correct position. So what is the sentence? Let us see the first sentence. Old house is haunted. And your options are and, few, the. Old house, no. What is the appropriate determiner over here? Can we say an old house is haunted? No, we cannot say that. Can we say few old houses haunted? No, this is also not correct. So our correct answer will be that old house is haunted. And we know that the determiner has to be placed before a noun or if before the adjective if there is an adjective. And what is the adjective over here? The noun is house and the adjective is old. So our correct sentence is that old house is haunted. Now let us read the next two sentences. That is a good book. That book is good. Now we have used that in both the sentences. That is a good book. That book is good. Is it functioning as a determiner in both the sentences? Let us see. When I say that is a good book, that refers to a particular book by pointing at it. It is a demonstrative pronoun. When I say that book is good, that specifies a particular book by pointing at it. Is it
Excuse
right?
me, Avanthi ma'am.
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah, ma'am. Sorry to disturb you in between. Ma'am, we are receiving one text box, and
Yeah.
in that it is asking to remove shared window. So, is it visible for you as well?
Yeah, even I'm seeing it. Actually, it is bothering me a lot.
Some window is open because of that it is happening.
I have not opened any window. I've just shared the screen. That's all. I've not
Uh,
opened any other
Ma'am,
window.
we will do one thing. Just stop sharing, and then once again you can share. So
Okay.
we may get the solution.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay, I'll share it now. One
Yeah,
second.
sure, ma'am.
Okay. Is it fine now?
Yeah, ma'am, it's all right. Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
Okay. So I was telling you all about in the first sentence, that is a good book. That refers to a particular book by pointing at it, and it is a demonstrative pronoun. But when I say that book is good, that specifies a particular book by pointing at it. It is a demonstrative adjective. In the second case, it is a demonstrative adjective which is placed right before the noun. And which is the noun there? Book. So in the first sentence, that is a standalone. But in the second sentence, it is placed right before the noun book. So in the first sentence, that is not a determiner. Whereas in the second sentence, that is a determiner. So you have to look out for the noun and see whether it is specifying the noun. Okay. That is how you will identify if it is a determiner. So what did we learn up until now? Before that, there is one more example. I'm sure you will be able to solve it quickly. This is my favorite painting. This painting is my favorite. Now I'm sure you know it. What is the first thing you will do? You will see whether it is determining the noun. So in the first case, This is my favorite way painting. This is not a determiner because it is a standalone. And in the second sentence, this is referring to a particular noun, and that noun is painting is the noun. So here this becomes the determiner. So I hope you are able to identify a determiner in a sentence. Before we go into types of determiners, you should know where is a determiner placed. Okay. So if you are able to identify this, then learning types of determiners is not at all a challenge. So what did we discuss till now? Determiners are words which are placed right before a noun and help to identify or specify the noun in some way. And what could the ways be? It could be identifying, it could be pointing at it, it could be possession, it could be specifying the amount, it could be showing distribution, it could be telling whether the noun is general or whether it is specific. So this is what is the work of the determiner. And why are they called determiners? Because they will restrict the noun. And determiners, we also understood this. Determiners are placed right before the noun or before the adjective if there is any, if there is any adjective, it is placed before the adjective. And how do they determine a noun? They determine a noun by identifying it, by pointing at it, by showing possession, by specifying the amount, or by specifying the number, or by showing distribution, or by showing whether it is general or whether it is specific. Now, based on how they determine the nouns, we have types of determiners. So we just met our first milestone. What are determiners? Now we will look into the types of determiners. Now we will learn the various types of determiners. Now determiners can be broadly classified again into two groups. One set is the identifying or the classifying determiners, and then we have another set which are the quantifying determiners. Identifying or classifying determiners are usually articles where we use articles a and the, or they can be possessives, for example my, your, his, her. Or they can be demonstratives like this, that, these, those, or they can be interrogatives. Interrogatives, for example, what, which, whose, or they can be distributives, each, every, either. Okay, these are all identifying or classifying determiners. And when it comes to quantifying determiners, there are two types. They can either show you numbers or positions, like first, second, third. They can be ordinal or they can be cardinal numbers. Or they can be quantifiers like some, many, several, all. These are quantifiers. So based on whether they are quantifiers or whether they are articles or possessive, they have been classified into these two categories. So we will look into each category. We will first start with the identifying or the classifying determiners, where we will be going through all these specific determiners, possessive determiners, demonstrative determiners, interrogative determiners, and distributive determiners. So we will start with identifying and classifying determiners. And we will start with article determiners, or they're also called as specific determiners. And there will be the usage of a, and the. So we will understand it again with examples. When we say, I will buy a book today, now a refers to a book in general. We know that it is an indefinite article. Now, a, which is an indefinite article, identifies or specifies the noun book. The noun book in some way it is specified. So it is used as a determiner. So what can we say? So we can say determiners specify which noun by making a general reference. Now, do determiners only specify noun by making a general reference? Let us look at the next example. But if I say, can you return the book that you borrowed yesterday? Now, in this sentence, the refers to a particular book. We know that it is a definite article. The is a definite article. Now, this definite article identifies or specifies the noun book. And which book? It exactly specifies which book. So the is used as a determiner here. So we can say determiners specify which noun by making a specific reference. In the previous we saw they specify which noun by making a general reference. Here we saw they also specify which noun by making a specific reference. So wherever we have a and the, we can say it is a specific determiner. Okay, article determiners are specific determiners. So this was the first type. Now let us look at the demonstrative determiners. So we will be having this, that, these and those. Here is our example. This book is very interesting. Now this is a demonstrative adjective. We know this already. It identifies or specifies a noun by pointing at it. It is not making a reference over here. It is pointing at it. It is pointing exactly this book. So here also the demonstrative adjective, it has been used as a determiner. So we can say demonstrative determiners point to a particular noun. So there it was making specific reference. Over here it is pointing. So this is how determiners function. Either they point it out or they show possessiveness. So here what is the work of the demonstrative determiner? It points to a particular noun. Now let us look at distributive determiners. What is the function of distributive determiners? So we will have words like each, every, either, neither. So I will take just one example. Every book written by R.K. Narayan is humorous. Now in this sentence, every is a distributive adjective. Now when we say every book written by R.K. Narayan, we are referring to all the books of R.K. Narayan in a group. And then we are referring to each book one by one. Hence, every identifies or specifies a noun in a group. Hence, every has been used as a determiner. So we can say that distributive determiners point to the individual nouns in a group one by one. So let us learn about the possessive determiners. Here is an example. I have carried my book to read. Now in this sentence, my is a possessive adjective. It is here identifying or specifying to a particular book, my book, by showing possession. So my is also used as a determiner. So we can say possessive determiners point to a particular noun in possession. Now our next one is interrogative determiners. So we'll be using interrogative adjectives such as what, which, and whose. Let me explain this with the help of one example. I've chosen the word which. Which book are you talking about? When I say which book, which is an interrogative adjective. Now this adjective is identifying or specifying a particular noun. So here which has been used as a determiner. So we can say interrogative determiners help to question about a particular noun, or in some cases if it is a pronoun, also interrogative determiners will help to question. And which are those words which we will be using? What, which, and whose. So that is an interrogative determiner. Then we have, so this finishes all our identifying and classifying determiners. Which were those which we just now saw? We started with articles, is it not? Then article determiners are also called as specific determiners. Then we saw possessives, then we saw demonstratives, we saw interrogatives, then we saw distributives. So these are the different types of identifying or classifying determiners. Now let us look into the quantifying determiners. Determiners used to quantify. And the first one is numeric determiners, where we will have ordinal or cardinal numbers. Here is your first example. The teacher needs 3 volunteers for the play. Now in this sentence, 3 refers to how many volunteers? How many volunteers? 3 volunteers. So 3 is an adjective of number in the cardinal position. And this adjective of number identifies or specifies the noun volunteers. Here, 3 has been used as a determiner. So we can say numeric determiners specify the number of the noun. But if we say the class is on the 3rd floor, which floor? 3rd floor. So 3rd is helping us to specify which floor. So 3rd, which is an adjective of number in the ordinal position, is telling us or specifying to us which floor. So here it is specifying a noun. Which noun? Floor. Hence, here it has been used as a determiner. So we can say numeric determiners specify the number or the position of the noun. So this is how you can identify it as if it is a numeric determiner. Always remember it is placed just before the noun. And how will you identify it? Based on its function. And now we have the last one, the quantifying determiners. Let us understand quantifying determiners. There is some food in the fridge. In this sentence, some is referring to the quantity of food. How much food? Some food. So some is an adjective of quantity, which is identifying or specifying the noun food in some way. So some here has been used as a determiner. So we can say quantifying determiners specify the amount of the noun. So we saw the quantifying determiners also. Now we finished with that. Now let us do this exercise. Identify the type of determiner or determiners in the given sentence. Here is your first question. What toppings do you want for the pizza? Now let us first identify the determiners in the sentence. Where will our determiners be? Exactly just before the noun. It is placed before the noun. So which is our noun in these sentences? One noun is toppings and the other one is pizza. So which are our determiners? What, which has been placed just before the noun toppings, and the, which has been placed just before the noun pizza. What is an interrogative determiner because it is an interrogative adjective. The is helping us to specify a particular pizza. So it is a specific determiner. Look at your text question. She put 2 boxes of sweets on the table. So which are our nouns over here? One is boxes and you have a determiner before it. What is it? 2 is the determiner. Then which is our other determiner? We have table, which is the noun, and we have the before it. So 2 is what? 2 is a numeric determiner and the is a specific determiner. Third question. Every dog has his day. Now what is every? Every is a distributive adjective. And is it functioning as a determiner? Yes. Why? Because it is talking about the noun dog. So it is a distributive determiner. I have not seen my dear friend for many days. Yes. Which is the determiner over here? My. And what is it? It is a possessive determiner. And then one more. This was the beggar's first meal after many days of fasting. So what do we have over here? The beggar. Now, the is a specific determiner. And what is the other determiner we have over here? We are having a numeric determiner first. Okay. So I'm sure you will be, this is a cakewalk. Determiners is not at all challenging. It seems to be very elementary. You should be able to identify the type of determiners. So we just touched upon 2 milestones. What are determiners? And we have seen the types of determiners. Now we will be discussing about multiple determiners. Can we have more than one determiner in a sentence? So before we understand multiple determiners, let us understand the term predeterminers. They're almost similar. Before predeterminers, what are predeterminers? Predeterminers are the words which occur before a determiner to limit the meaning of a noun, and usually quantifiers are used for this. So these are some of the words which usually come before the main determiner. So all of, half of, both, double, twice, quite, rather, such, what. Now how it is used, let us see with the help of examples, you will understand it better. All the boys joined the race. Now do you see, all is the predeterminer for the main determiner over there, the. He drank half of the milk. And everywhere, if you notice, we will be having quantifiers. You will get all the information. I paid double the sum for this bed. It was quite a shock. And what a mess you have made. See, you can see it, although it is an interrogative adjective, here it is working as a predeterminer. What a mess you have made. So you should just for me to draw your attention towards what is a predeterminer. I just gave you these examples. Now it becomes very easy for you to understand multiple determiners. Now let us read this sentence. A ripe orange is required for making this cake. Let us identify the determiners in this sentence. So this sentence has a and this as the determiners. A is specifying the noun orange and this is specifying the noun cake. Now you will see a has been placed before the adjective ripe. So we see with every noun we have used only one determiner. So we can say that usually only one determiner is used with a noun. Is it not in this case? And usually in most of the cases there is only one determiner which is placed before a noun. But what about this sentence? All the boys in the team are very talented. All the boys in this team are very talented. Very talented. Now in this sentence, you see we have used all, the, we have used two determiners. Is it not? Which are specifying which one, which is the noun both the determiners are specifying. It is specifying boys. So we can say more than one determiner can be used with a single noun. Now, when we have more than one determiner for a noun, how do we arrange them in a sentence? Then there should be some rule. So there is a rule for that. Multiple determiners specifying a noun are arranged in a specific order. And what is that order? We first put the quantifier. Then we use the article. Then the demonstrative. Then the possessive. Then the numeric. So you will understand this better with an example, but you should remember this order. This is the order in which it is always placed. And now you will notice there are some common mistakes which we make when we are speaking. Now you will notice that now. So if we have a sentence as, both my parents have gone to Chennai for a wedding. So in this sentence we have both mine, specifying the same noun, parents. We have another determiner, A, for the noun wedding. So this is okay. One determiner is specifying one noun over here. But what about in this case, both my parents? We have two determiners specifying a noun. Let us see the arrangement. First we have both, which is a quantifier. Is it not? Both is a quantifier. And we have which is followed by my. And what is my? My is a possessive. Can we say the sentence as, My both parents have gone to Chennai for a wedding. Do you notice? Sometimes we make this mistake when we are speaking. My both parents have gone to Chennai for a wedding, and it almost sounds correct. No, if a person knows their determiners correctly, then always the quantifier is placed first, and then it is followed by either an article or a demonstrative or a possessive or a numeric. Okay, so this is the order in which if you have multiple determiners, then they have to be placed in this very order. Always the quantifier will come first. This will be followed by article or a demonstrative or a possessive or a numeric. And they say in English language, there can be up to 3 determiners in a sentence. Now let us look at this example. They sold their old car. Do you think this sentence is correct? No, it is not correct. It is not a correct sentence. Now we could either say they sold their old car, or we can say they sold the old car. So what do we see? We see that two identifying determiners cannot be used together with a noun. So here we have the and their. They are identifying determiners, and we cannot be using them together. Under the, we saw the two types of determiners, identifying or classifying determiners, and we have quantifying determiners. So what does the rule say? It says if you have two identifying determiners, okay? See, the is the specific, and the other one is pointing out. There is the determiner which is pointing out. So you cannot use two identifying determiners together with a noun. Now the same thing applies even for quantifying also. Many people visited their stall in the fair. Now, is it grammatically correct? Is it making any sense? No, it is not grammatically correct. We can either say some people visited their stall in the fair, or we can say many people visited their stall in the fair, but we can never say many people visited their stall in the fair. So, what do we understand from this? Two quantifying determiners cannot be used together with a noun. So the same noun you cannot have two quantifying determiners together. Okay. Just like how you cannot have two identifying determiners together, in the same way you cannot have two quantifying determiners together. So let us do this exercise now and choose the correct sentence. Both the elder sisters are very strict. The both elder sisters are very strict. Now let us take the second sentence first and do an analysis. When I say the both elder sisters are very strict, we see that we have placed the article before the quantifier. But we know for the sentence to be correct, we have to first place the quantifier and then the article. Hence, it is not correct. The second sentence is not correct. And but when we say both the elder sisters are very strict, then we have placed the quantifier first, which is followed by the article the. So the first sentence is correct. So now you have seen what are multiple determiners, and you have seen what is the rule or what is the order in which the multiple determiners have to be placed. Now, equipped with all this, let us solve a few exercises. Fill in the blanks with suitable determiners. Dash books are missing from the library. Any books? Some books? What is the correct answer? Yes, I'm sure you would have got it. Some books. She has not solved any sums, many sums. She has not solved many sums. This book is mine, but dash is yours. Any is yours, that is yours. This book is mine, but that is yours. Dash boys have done their work. That boys have done their work? No, these boys have done their work. He didn't make dash progress. He didn't make many progress. Does it sound correct? No. He didn't make much progress. He has forgotten dash of the details. He has forgotten some of the details. The district magistrate visited dash flood affected area. Either flood affected area, every flood affected area. Dash villa is this. Whose villa is this? Or what villa is this? Whose villa is this? He is the dash boy who has joined this gym. He is the whose boy who has joined this gym? Or he is the first boy who has joined this gym? He is the first boy. I met her dash week. I met her this week or I met her those week. I met her this week. Okay. Few more. Does your cow give dash milk? Does your cow give much milk or does your cow give many milk? Does your cow give much milk? Ramesh bought dash ice cream for the family. Ramesh bought many ice cream for the family? No. Ramesh bought some ice cream for the family. Good manners are needed dash where? Each where? No. Everywhere. The calves were grazing in the field with dash mothers for many years. With that mothers? No, with their mothers. Dash answer is correct. Neither either. Neither answer is correct. I shall meet him dash week. Next week, last week? I shall meet him next week. Did you see dash persons at the dinner? Much persons, many persons? Did you see many persons at the dinner? I have watched dash movie of late B.R. Chopra. I have watched many movie, every movie. I have watched every movie of late B.R. Chopra. Okay. So this finishes our session on determiners. So we have understood what are determiners. We have seen that determiners are nothing but it is a kind of adjective, but the only difference is these adjectives cannot be placed anywhere in the sentence, but they have to be placed only before a noun. And based on what they are specifying, we are having the different types of determiners. So we saw the different types of determiners, and basically they're classified under two headings. We have determiners which identify and classify, and then we have determiners which quantify. And how are the types of determiners determined? How do they determine? It is based on how they determine a noun. So they may be either identifying it or pointing it out, or they may be showing possession, or they may be specifying the amount, or they may be showing the determiner may be showing distribution, or it may be showing whether it is general or whether it is specific. So based on that, we had the different identifying or classifying determiners, which are specific, where we use articles, or they could be possessives, mine, ours, its, or they could be demonstratives, this, that, those, or they could be interrogatives, which, whose, what, or they could be distributive determiners, each, every. Okay, these were, or either, neither, these could be the determiner. Then based on the quantifying determiners, they could be either numeric or they can be a quantifier. Numeric, they can be ordinal or cardinal numbers, or when it comes to quantifiers, it will be some, many, several, all, both. Okay, these are the quantifying determiners. Then we also saw the rule for multiple determiners. Multiple determiners always follow an order, and the rule is the quantifier is always comes first, which is followed by the article, that will be followed by the demonstrative, and which is followed by possessive or by numeric. And you can have more than one determiner in a sentence. You should only know how to identify, and you should know how to place the multiple determiners. Placing the multiple determiners correctly is what you have understood today. That is what we have discussed and completed. With this, we finish the session on determiners. And are you able to classify or quantify a noun with the correct usage of determiners? I hope that you will practice as much as you can and you will master this. So please do the exercises which are given in your textbooks to get more practice, or refer to a grammar book and solve as many exercises as you can. So until next class, stay home, stay safe, follow the protocol given by World Health Organization. Wash your hands frequently, wear a mask. Please don't go out without wearing your mask. Use a sanitizer, carry one in your pocket always. Definitely maintain the social distance. So until next class, remember you're champions, you're the best. And goodbye, and over to Navya.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was very informative session, and you have explained in very good way, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, Navya. Thank you so much.
So, dear viewers, stay connected for many more interesting sessions. Please like and subscribe our YouTube channel. For notification, please click on the bell icon. Share the video with your friends. Tomorrow will be the next class at 3 p.m. Thank you.